Welcome back to the second half of tonight's show. This is the heavy stuff, ladies and gentlemen. So we're just gonna jump right into it. What if I were to say you have no control over the events and the people that shape our daily lives? Though we may think with our vote, with our voice, and with our convictions, we can force change through the process afforded to us by our founding fathers. But that hasn't been the case for some time. Starting with Woodrow the Weasel Wilson, who sold out this country in the first part of the 20th century. He's responsible for the income tax and establishing the Federal Reserve, which gave the elite bankers carte blanche to do whatever they wanted. During and after World War II, a litany of new cutting-edge technological achievements suddenly became available. The world was changing faster than it ever had before. Built on a wartime patent secrecy regime dating back to World War I, the Invention Secrecy Act, or ISA, for which it'll be known, emerged in a climate of national security anxiety. This was during the early days of the Cold War, when concerns voiced by committees who dealt with defense patents were raised. Wanting to withhold disclosure of many dual-use technology, that's tech that has both a military and civilian application. So in February of 1952, the 82nd Congress passed Public Law 256-66, Statute 3. What a mouthful. That otherwise is known as the United States Patent Secrecy Act, or ISA, that we just mentioned. But what does that mean? What power does it afford our federal government? Well, I'm going to tell you. It allows the government to block any patent or invention they think poses a risk to national security or is so incredible that it would change our economy or our very way of life so drastically it'd be impossible to predict the outcome. Also, lending itself perfectly to the unacknowledged government that at this point is basically its own civilization, folks. It's the quietest law with the loudest impact. It lets the government bury any technology it decides the world isn't ready for, no matter how good it do. The lives it'd save. Think of your loved ones and how this purposely hidden world of miracles could save them, could save so many. Make your whole life so much better. It would lift you out of poverty. Watch them get healthy. Watch you get healthy. This really strikes a nerve with me. And it should with everybody else. They knew what they were doing. The process of even getting something passed in Congress starts with a sponsor, a member who actually stands up and introduces this new bill to Congress. Their name will ultimately be at the top of that bill. But with this one, there's no name on this thing. There's no record of anyone even supporting it. They don't even know anyone who opposed it, for that matter. When does that happen? It just appears there in the winter of 51-52. Just placed on the books, willy-nilly. To anyone who follows U.S. politics, it's a miracle, an act of God that anything gets passed in a timely manner. Our government moves at a snail's pace, dropping billions as it just slithers along. Anyways, I digress. So you may not know of this law. I guarantee you've seen its results. We all know about Nikola Tesla. He's finally getting the recognition he deserves. How our modern world is based off of his vision. Most also know how he died penniless and alone in a one-room apartment. He worked with Edison, was financed by JP Morgan, held over 300 patents. You know, when he died, they raided his apartment with no warrant or reason given. They were after the good stuff there. President Trump's uncle actually took part in that theft. John G. Trump. Great name. But seriously, Tesla had designs for a death ray. Well, he called it a peace ray, but we know what that would have been used for. It's a particle beam weapon, a fucking laser, back in the 20s. Screw the free energy. Wireless communication can wait. I want time travel. I want anti-gravity. Stuff that makes shit fun. Since his death, many of the concepts that he spoke about and were rumored to have been solved have come to life. But he was railroaded. A tale as old as 1776. How many lives have been destroyed? Whole families torn apart. A lot of these folks were killed for defying the law. I can become rich. I solved this. I invented that. And now, nope, sorry, get out. Your dream doesn't exist. What now? Baking powder? Screw that. It's a wonderment. Our curiosity of what amazing achievements have been done and kept secret. The ISA just legitimized what had already been happening. Take, for example, Royal Raymond Rife has an amazing story, but the ending sucks. All these endings sucks. Probably written by J.J. Abrams himself. Anyways, so Royal, at the age of 16, was accepted to Johns Hopkins University. After falling in love with the microscopic world, he built his own microscope that was 30 times more powerful than anything available at the time. He was poised for greatness. It's here that he came to the conclusion that many of our ailments were not in fact diseases, but viruses. With that in mind, he devised a method to target specific viruses, but left the healthy tissue intact. So he built a device, the Rife frequency machine, or beam ray amplifier. It worked on the principle that everything living or otherwise vibrates at its own unique frequency, and by matching said frequency and amplifying it, he could destroy whatever he was targeting, leaving the surrounding area unscathed. He called this vibrational hertz the mortal oscillatory rate. Think how a well-trained singer can shatter a glass with nothing but their voice. He could dissolve tuberculosis, typhoid, pneumonia, anthrax, and more with this device. In 1934, clinical trials using his methodology on cancer patients began. These were the worst. Now, this is his biggest achievement in his already blessed life. And you know what? It would be his undoing. So, to just briefly skim through here, the clinical was an astounding success. All the doctors overseeing the trial signed off. Even ardent critics became fascinated, except for the head of the AMA, Morris Fishbein. He launched a smear campaign against Royal, which lasted close to 40 years. Poor Royal. They drug him through crippling legal battles, had him disbarred, and left him penniless like Tesla. During this, Royal's lab had been raided, trashed, and burglarized on more than one occasion. His machines taken and destroyed. And research all gone up in smoke. And that was the end of it. 30 years later, in the 1960s, two individuals, John Marsh and John Crane, who had previously worked in medicine and had even at one point helped early on during the research for Royal's machine. The two men tracked Rife down with the most noblest of intentions. Marsh's wife was diagnosed with uterine cancer. Desperate for a cure, the two men convinced Rife to help them. There was one machine left, hidden from the raids of the 30s and 40s, and it was still in Royal's possession, though it wasn't working, and he wished to be left out of it. So, he connected the men with an old colleague of his, now a San Diego police officer. He had previously helped with many of the electronics years ago. Well, long story short, it worked again. After 3 sessions, Mrs. Marsh reported no pain and on her latest checkup was cancer-free. Thinking to capitalize on this success, they started offering it as a cure to anyone who would pay, listen, or they could get a hold of. After 16 or so cases, all of which were positive, Fishbone and the AMA raised their ugly head again. They brought charges of medical malpractice, fraud, and anything else that'd stick. And even though the now cured patients testified before court, including Mrs. Marsh, the two men were found guilty. And after begging to be left alone, Royal Raymond Rife's name was yet again dragged through the mud. He died a fake and a charlatan, a kid who from the age of 16 made real contributions to the medical science. Such a shame. See, the pattern, folks, it exists. I'd be amiss also if I didn't mention Stanley Meyer. I grew up during this time. I remember seeing him on TV and hearing about him regularly on the radio. See, science teachers loved him because he used his knowledge of science to build a car that ran on water. And yes, it is true. No matter what any contemporary source, AI, search engine, or whatever says to muddy the waters, no pun intended, Stanley drove cross-country in front of a litany of press, had a water-powered doom buggy, all running off of H2O. And the best part, you could convert any normal combustion engine to do this as well. Though poor Stanley, he thought he'd done it. He would become rich, rule the automotive world with his newfound invention. And Stanley wasn't greedy. He'd charge a fair price to free American from the dependency on foreign oil, which was all the rage in the late 70s. At this point, he had heard the stories too. He applied for patents, but thinking he would outsmart the government, he always left something out or altered a component. So he had to be on hand for his inventions to work. This is why he lost his court case. He faced obstacle after obstacle, but through sheer perseverance, he kept on, driving his water-powered buggy and taking meeting with investors left and right. Well, if you become obsessed with making him to stop, and Stanley Meyer was never going to, what do? His last words were, "I was poisoned," as he fell to the floor in the Cracker Barrel parking lot. At least that's what his brother heard when Stanley collapsed. Poor Stanley Meyer. That one really gets to me because he really did do it. Anyways, on to the Federation of American Scientists website. An article dated back to October 2010 revealed that 5,135 patents that year alone, 2010, were classified under the ISA. They also revealed a statute which purposely keeps solar panels efficiency in the range of 15% to 20%. We know this because they published a patent from 1971 showing someone had invented photovoltaic cells that exceeded 80% efficiency back in 1971. Still, you don't think we're still living in the Truman Show? Wernher von Braun, the Nazi scientists brought here through Operation Paperclip and helped found NASA. His assistant claimed that von Braun, later in life, revealed to her the next 50 years of geopolitical turmoil around the globe, from the Cold War to terrorist cells, third world nation states, radicalism here at home, all the way up to a planned alien invasion. Sounds far-fetched, doesn't it? Well, these three stories are echoed by so many. I could make a dozen videos and not cover it all. When the government doesn't want you around, you go. But people need to acknowledge this is happening. Now, he's not an inventor and has no relation to the ISA or any patent, but I want to make my audience really get it. I want to be crystal clear with this. I'm going to tell you about Gary Webb. Now, he's the one who broke the story on the Iran-Contra scandal. He was from a small market newspaper, but forces outside his control were hell-bent on ruining him after he published this article. His wife and kids leave. He soon lost his job, lost his house, lost his whole identity. But he knew he was right. He had the proof. And now he had something to prove. Now, through the passage of time, we can see he was in fact correct. Well, that wasn't the case in December of 2004 when Gary decided to commit suicide. But the first shot in the back of the head wasn't enough. He had to do it twice. Can you sense the irony here, folks? We'll leave with this. It's a song about the US Patent Secrecy Act. All those poor souls I didn't get to highlight. And a little bit about some other conspiracies ripe with intrigue and government overreach. So, let's do this Billy Joel style. In the vein of We Didn't Start the Fire, here's the ISA Isn't Legit. Folks, I'm Johnny GPT. Thank you for listening to Conspiracy Classroom Radio. Have a great night.
Stanley Meyer, water car, Janice Allen, filmmaker, Dr. Moulin, a physicist, all were poison, what is this? Bob Lazar, a wanted man, coast to coast AM, Dimitri Petrinov, plasma in a battery, Stefan Marinov, Eugene Mello, both found an early grave. The US has a death ray. Mark Twain, Star Drive, missing research also died. All for what? The Benjamins. The US has another plan. I'll put off on Rogan, a neutronic fusion, Julian Brown, Pasolane, Paul Tibito, Grafflin, the Beefel, Brown effect, electrographic tech, Ben Rich inspired me, Chinese spining lie. John Clark, Mike Devo, John Martinez opened the door. Malcolm Mendel, Thunderstorm, have Blue Skunk Works, Charles Chase and CFRs. Don't forget Otis Carr. It's all about consciousness, what will be discovered next. Ashton, Forbes, Gorgon Star, John G. Trump and Tesla took all his work after death. Skinwalker Ranch, what else is left? We learned from Art Bell in search of an unsolved mysteries. Meets freak machine, hate machine was no dream. He destroyed cancer cells, living also organelles. Evil hammer, don't ask Trek, predicted metal glass. Lockheed Martin, Skunk Works, the book Etheric Network. Feral people in our parks, madman Mike, the town goes dark. Hollywood pedophiles, thinks a cappy, no more Gentiles. Don't forget Floyd, Sparky, Sweet, trying to make energy free. The feds forgot, research lost. Sweet was killed, the wife got billed. Everyone wake up, I'm tired of getting fucked. Conspiracy classroom, new episodes every month. We gotta try to repeal it. Who decides what tech is public or secret? We gotta fight to repeal it. The Invention Secrecy Act isn't legit. We gotta try to repeal it. Who decides what tech is public or secret? We gotta try to repeal it. The Invention Secrecy Act isn't legit. We gotta try to repeal it. We gotta try to repeal it. Stanley Meyer, water car, James Allen, family to star. Dr. Mullen, physicist, oh, a poison, what is this? Bob Lazar, a wanted man, coast to coast AM. Dimitri Petrinov, plasma in a battery. We gotta try to repeal it. Who decides what tech is public or secret? We gotta try to repeal it. The Invention Secrecy Act isn't legit. Stephen Marino, Eugene Malone, both found an early grave hidden in a lab cave. The US has a death rate. Mark Twain, Star Drive, missing research also died. All for what? The Benjamins. The US has another plan. We gotta try to repeal it. Who decides what tech is public or secret? We gotta try to repeal it. The Invention Secrecy Act isn't legit. Hal put off on Rogan, ionotronic fusion. Julian brown plastoline, multi-beetle graphene. B-Feld, brown effects, elector, gravity tech, Ben Rich inspired me. Chinese fighting lead. We gotta try to repeal it. Who decides what tech is public or secret? We gotta try to repeal it. The Invention Secrecy Act isn't legit. John Clark and Mike Devo, John Martinez opened a door. Malcolm Bendel, Thunderstorm, have Blue Skunk Works to explore. Tom's Chase and see it first. Don't forget old Otis Carr. It's all about consciousness, what will be discovered man. We gotta try to repeal it. Who decides what tech is public or secret? Gotta try to repeal it. The Invention Secrecy Act isn't legit. Aston, Forbes, Gorgon Strong, John G. Trump, Tesla took his work after death. Skinwalker ranks to his death. We learned from Art Bell in search of an unsolved mysteries and frequency. Right machine was no dream. He destroyed cancer cells. Limit on solar panels. Evil AMA, just as Trek predicted. Metal glass. We gotta try to repeal the Bookaderic network. Feral people in our apartments. Madman Mike, the town goes dark. Hollywood pedophiles, raising Cappy lost his smile. Don't forget Floyd, Spark or Sweet, trying to make energy free. Everyone wake up. I'm sick, tired of getting fucked. We gotta try to repeal it. Who decides what take is public or secret? We gotta fight to repeal it. The Invention Secrecy Act isn't legit. John Clark and Mike Devo, John Martinez opened the door. Malcolm Mendel, Thunderstorm have Blue Skunk Works to explore. Charles Chase and Sia First, don't forget old Otis Carr. It's all about consciousness, what will be discovered next.